You're trying to stay calm, but something in the conversation starts to build. You explain your point. They respond, steady. You try again. They stay the same. And little by little, you feel yourself getting more emotional, while they don't seem to change at all. You may recognize the moment when the conversation starts to shift away from what you were trying to say, and you may notice yourself speaking more quickly, trying to be clearer, trying to be understood. Over time, this can start to feel overwhelming, and it can leave you wondering how the conversation became so one-sided. What often happens in these moments is very subtle. You bring something up, but instead of the conversation moving toward understanding, it begins to move at a different pace. You become more expressive, more emotional, and they remain steady, unchanged in tone. For them, this can become useful, because what this often does is change how the interaction is experienced. The focus begins to shift from the concern you raised to how the conversation feels. So instead of staying with what was said or what happened, the attention moves toward your emotional response. And over time, this can make it harder for the original issue to stay at the center of the conversation. Some people describe this as a narcissistic communication pattern when it happens repeatedly, where one person's steady tone contrasts with the other person's reaction, and slowly becomes the focus. If this happens once, it may be misunderstanding, but when it repeats, a pattern can form. In healthy conversations, both people adjust so the original concern can be understood, not just how the conversation appears. Many people respond to this pattern by trying harder to stay calm, or by trying harder to explain, because it feels like if they can just regulate enough, the conversation will come back to what mattered. But recognizing this shift can bring clarity, because it helps explain why the interaction starts to feel unbalanced, even when you're trying to stay steady. If this helped put words to your experience, like the video and subscribe to the channel. This channel exists to help you recognize narcissistic and manipulative patterns calmly, clearly, and without blame, so you can understand what's happening and trust yourself again. And when conversations unfold this way, another pattern often begins to form, where the focus slowly moves away from what happened and toward you. In the next video, we're going to explain why arguments suddenly become your fault and how that pattern changes the direction of the conversation. Click here to watch.